First things first, we got to congratulate the Pacers. I mean, during my NBA preview for the Eastern Conference Finals, I had the Pacers in 6. That was on my channel. You guys can go check that out. But look, this series answered a lot of questions that probably the whole, fan base of the NBA or viewership of the NBA had regarding Mr. Tyrese Haliburton, Pascal Siakam, whether the Knicks were for real, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, etc. For me, the series, it really started with the big men. I said from the beginning, Karl Anthony Towns is the key. I mean, watching him, he's probably the most talented player in this series. However, he does not play like that. I say that because if you just watch him, the man will settle for threes. He'll settle for bad shots and they're long twos. The man does a lot of silly stuff on the court. If you watch him, he commits a lot of very stupid fouls. I think it was game 4 or 5. He was holding somebody's hand on the wrist off of a pick and roll. I was like, what kind of stuff is this, man? The man is too good to be making these kind of errors. If you watch him on offense with his shot selection, when he puts his head down, nobody's stopping him. Now, the other problem with him putting his head down is because he's a little bit careless with, how he throws his weight around. He's easy and prone to getting charges. But the Pacers, they quickly figured out kind of how to funnel him out. Miles Turner could not stay in front of him. Miles Turner's a pretty good player, but when it comes to the matchup with Karl Anthony Towns, if he's on the perimeter, Karl Anthony Towns basically has a choice. Go left, go right. Most of the time, he's probably going to go left. That's easy barbecue chicken every time. Now, Miles Turner's no slouch. He's going to keep Karl a little bit active on defense, but he really didn't, expose him as much as he should have. And when they started doing that switch of responsibility, put Pascal Siakam on him in terms of having that cross matching for when they come back down. That was a very good switch on Rick Carlisle's part, because Pascal Siakam, if you watch game 6 or 5, he basically had Karl Anthony Towns on skates, just guessing. I mean, he had him on a few hezzies, especially on that right side of the floor. I think it was second quarter. Yeah, he caught Karl. He's not good moving his feet side to side. His horizontal speed, lateral quickness is very poor. Now on defense, he's always left much to be desired. But when Karl Anthony Towns is clicking, the Knicks are very hard to beat. The man has the skills to pay the bills, but his shot selection is very poor, as well as his defensive rotations, very poor. The Pacers were definitely attacking that a lot. Now with the Jalen Brunson angle, I'm going to go to the Pacers next, but the Jalen Brunson angle, what I know is the Pacers will do a lot. They'll kind of let him dribble to his left, let him because what Jalen Brunson does, he passes back out. I mean, a lot of point guards in the league do this now. They pass back out just to get it right back, But what he'll do is he'll dribble into a bad spot. He's not looking for the second defender coming on the weak side, blind side. They show a little bit, double team him randomly, swipe the ball, Jordan style against Karl Malone, and they go the other way. I mean, he's too talented of a player to not know what's going on. He had a lot of turnovers. Karl Anthony Towns as well. The Knicks turned the ball over at a very high clip. They had probably on average maybe 3-4 turnovers each. And that's just unacceptable from your top stars in this important of a series. I mean, you got a few games you guys could have gone to the finals. Now that game 1, I was watching. I watched the whole series, but I mean, game 1, that was inexcusable. Absolutely inexcusable. We look at what Nesmith did in that fourth quarter. Now the Pacers played pretty bad at that game. They were down 20 plus. I think in the last minute they were down 10 or 8, and somehow they come out with that game. Tyrese hits the shot, obviously, but they're not in that position if Nesmith doesn't hit 6 straight threes. Man didn't miss in the fourth. He was hot. He was cooking. Now the Knicks kind of got off the hook a little bit because Nesmith, I believe it was game 3 or 4. I think it was 3. He rolled his ankle pretty bad, but up until then, he was giving Brunson a lot of trouble. He wasn't locking him down per se, but he was giving him a lot of hell in terms of he was getting over the screens. He was body on body over each screen. They could not set a screen to keep Nesmith off of him. And in game 6, when Nesmith couldn't really guard him that much, he was in foul trouble, plus his ankle was worse than the previous games. You see Nembhard step up. Nembhard, he had a pretty rough series shooting the ball. He's all over the place defensively. He was playing good. Playing well, but this last game 6, he showed up, showed out. He didn't lock Brunson down, but once again, just do what Nesmith did, getting over the screens, giving him a lot of trouble. I saw Brunson give him a little bit of a headbutt towards the end of the game. He was getting a little the boy was getting a little frustrated, but it's all good, man. It's how you know you're doing your job. Look, the Pacers, quite frankly, I knew they were going to go through against the Knicks, because when I saw the Knicks playing, I like that these guys just have too many holes. What I saw against Boston, I wasn't really convinced that they were going to go through to the finals. I mean, they had the talent. They have the talent. OG Anunoby is a very good player. Let me say that right now before we skip over that. OG Anunoby is a very good player both ways. On offense, he's highly efficient, takes great shots. He could make a few tough shots. He hit a shot, I believe it was game 4. Left, it was a 3. It was like a step back 3. Shot clock was going down. It was like third or fourth quarter. Very good shot. I think Rick Carlisle was talking about that too in the post game. But OG Anunoby, he can play. He bodies people up well both ways. Going to the rim, he's not soft. I mean, he probably needs to teach, Karl Anthony Towns that mindset of taking good shots. Mikal Bridges, pretty good player. Didn't really have a huge impact this series. There were times where he looked good, and then most of the series he did not look great offensively. Tom Thibodeau, in my opinion, he did not play Mitchell Robinson enough. Mitchell Robinson, he was making everybody on the Pacers look like little boys when it comes to the offensive boards. He was getting way too many boards. Not saying that he's not skilled enough to do it, but I'm saying anybody, that's unacceptable. Anybody who's played ball, your coach is going to chew you up. I don't care how much fast break offense you're trying to run. There's no reason, a team should be getting that many boards and getting that many second chance opportunities. It's inexcusable. But the Pacers, the one thing I have to give them credit for is these guys handled business on the road, and that basically punched the Knicks in the mouth. 2-0 already. The pressure's there. When they went up 3-1, I mean, we already knew what was going to happen. But yeah, I put them at. I thought they were going to go 6 because I didn't believe that the Knicks basketball IQ and their discipline was as high as the Pacers. I do believe the Pacers overall as a team have higher basketball IQ, and they're much more resilient. Now let me get to Tyrese Haliburton and Pascal Siakam. These guys were playing their butts off for the majority of the series. I mean, Pascal Siakam, as we saw, he got that MVP, deservedly so. I mean, he played well. He had like 3 games where he had over 30 in a series that was, I mean, these guys were playing, it was pretty chippy. I personally thought that they were trying to, keep the series pretty even with all these fouls they were giving out at weird times, but overall that they did a pretty good job at letting them play, both teams. Pascal Siakam, his over the shoulder when he's turning left, or when he's going left, over the shoulder when he's in the post, money. The man had Karl Anthony Towns on skates every time he was out there on the perimeter. In the fast break, he's very good at getting on the floor, running the floor. A lot of people do not give him enough credit for that. He runs the hell out of the floor because he's in shape. He's in a lot better shape than most players on the court. And he also is a very good finisher. Now, the only thing I would say Pascal Siakam needs to do to really take his game to that next level is free throws. Absolutely unacceptable. Him and Jaylen Brown, these are 2 guys who, they're very good players, all-star level players, but they shoot in the 60s from the free throw line. I'm sorry, against the Oklahoma City Thunder, that's not going to work. That is not going to work against Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, freaking Hartenstein, all these defensive guys they got over there. That is not going to. Lou Dort, you can't shoot 60-something% when those guys are going to have hands on you, and you're already not going to get many foul calls. The Thunder, they seem to be the NBA's new darling team. They're a pretty good team. I like what they do, but you're not going to get many calls against them. I highly suggest you finish when you're at the line. But overall, he definitely, I believe, MVP could have gone to him or Haliburton. It's really not that important. Great award to win, but it's really not that big of a deal. Hopefully they don't let any of that silly, NBA fan or media trying to splinter the team with stupid comments or whose team is it, that kind of silliness. Going to Tyrese Haliburton, let's just call it what it is. The NBA was very wrong about this man. They like to say that he was overrated. Last year when him and the Pacers were playing the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, the man had hamstring issues. I remember that. So they really didn't play the Pacers at full strength. They went through. The Celtics did, well deserved, but they didn't really play the Pacers at full strength. So we got to see what they look like this year. They look pretty dang good. Now they're not favorites to win the finals, but any sort of talk about Tyrese Haliburton being overrated, I don't want to hear it anymore. I do not want to hear it. Because the only way you could call him overrated at this point is if you started making comparisons to him being like Jokic or him being like LeBron, him being like Giannis, him being MVP level guys who've done it before, in different ways. That's where I'd say he'd be overrated. But as of right now, no, he is not overrated. He's actually quite underrated. The man has been the best player in the Eastern Conference when it comes to this playoffs. For the whole playoffs, I mean, Pascal deserved it for this round, But I mean, if you just look at his play overall, the man dishes the ball and he gets very few turnovers because he's not looking to hold the ball the whole time. If you watch how Jalen Brunson plays, not to say he's selfish, but at times he does get a little bit greedy with the ball. He doesn't dish it as quick as he could to get the hockey assist. Basketball is not about how many stats you can pile up. Certain guys are going to be natural at, piling up the stats. Tyrese Haliburton is kind of one of those. But you notice that he doesn't really hold the ball that long. The Pacers get the ball out of his hands pretty quick. Nembhard can run that offense. Neesmith is pretty good about getting the ball to where it needs to go. He can't run the offense, but that whole team, they dish the ball effectively, and they communicate well. Now, their role players stepped up big time. Thomas Bryant, what's his name? Jarris Walker. Hopefully he gets better soon. What's the cat, the big man? 13. Forget his name. Big man went out in like game 4 or 5. He landed on his leg pretty bad after a rebound. But nah, man, that whole Pacers. Shout out TJ McConnell. That boy was putting in some work, man. That boy, every time he come off the bench, give him a shot in the arm. Benedict Mathurin, he stepped up in games 4 and 5. If I remember correctly, yeah, it was 4 and 5. Because 1, 2, 3, I mean, he was doing some stupid stuff, and he was kind of getting bailed out a lot because the refs would give him a call when he throws the ball up randomly. But yeah, any sort of talk about Tyrese Haliburton, that what the hell, I don't want to hear no more about. This man is overrated. This man is no. The man has done the job. He's gotten his team to the finals. Then everybody, D-rides Luka for. Then everybody D-rode Jimmy Butler for a few years. The man got his team to the finals, and he's not playing with bums, no. But he led them to the finals. He's an all-star. He's playing very well. Let's see what they can do against the Thunder. The whole Thunder preview for the Pacers, I'm going to sit down and do an analysis on that. Preview is going to drop in a few days, most likely. But yeah, any sort of talk about the guy being overrated, that has to shut down. Stephen A. Smith, a couple of silly guys like to say that guys are not superstars. But we just saw what the quote-unquote superstar in Jalen Brunson looked like. Turnovers like crazy. That stuff eats your team alive. Against a team like the Pacers who get on the floor, you can't make those kind of mistakes in playoff basketball. So, I mean, media heads are always going to push certain players, as you saw with Anthony Edwards. They're pushing him a lot. Pretty good player, pretty good damn player. He's next in terms of he's most likely next. But right now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander looks very good with the Thunder. They're probably going to take it. I'm going to give my prediction on how many games, probably in the next few days. But as usual, don't be mad at me, be mad at yourself.